All right, hello, and welcome back to our podcast, Not Seriously Connected. Now, this episode is going to be where we tie in lighter topics that are not so connected to each other. So today we're going to be talking about like the happiest and the saddest topics. We will be talking about assisted suicide and the Disney parks. So take it away, Lauren.
All right, so assisted suicide, just to give you guys an overview, it's basically when a physician will assist a terminally ill patient with suicide if they are diagnosed with 6 months left to live, and if they're requesting this as well, obviously. It is only currently legal in Oregon, Colorado, Vermont, Hawaii, and Washington. It is legal by court ruling in California and Montana. There are also ethical laws set in place to avoid any issues regarding a person's assisted suicide ethically. These laws include mental health background checks, being at least 18, and having a diagnosis of 6 months left to live. Assisted suicide is very highly debated since it quite literally has to do with life and death. So now that you guys have a basic understanding of what it is, do you think that it should be legalized in all of the states?
I think it should be. I don't see a problem with it. I mean, if you have 6 months to live, some people are to the point where they're like, I have 6 months to live, let me go skydive and do all this other stuff. But some people, if you're ill and you're in pain, I understand wanting to, go ahead and get it over with, because you might be happier once it's done and you're not having to feel the pain anymore.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but, when patients have, 6 months to live and they have the option of assisted suicide, they're most likely in pain, and,
Yes.
they're going to be in pain until their body naturally
Yes.
dies.
Yeah, think of it as cancer, for example, because that's one of the main terminal illnesses that people have. People in cancer are in constant states of pain, and that's why this has become an option in these few states.
Seems like a more ethical, almost nicer way to go,
Right.
by your own terms, and it's quick and painless.
Right, and this is what they call Death with Dignity, actually. There's an organization that really dedicates themselves to trying to pass these laws. So it is what you're saying, it's dignity. These people are able to go out being as strong as they were in the prime of life and not, I guess, withering away.
Plus, what you said with it being dignity and stuff, what's to stop them from just killing themselves at home or somewhere else? And, imagine their, family finding them and, how heartbreaking.
Yes.
At least with that, it's you think it over, you probably talk to your family about it, and everyone's on the same page.
You go through, a process, and then your whole family knows instead of this all of a sudden, oh, they killed themselves.
Right.
What do we do now?
Exactly. And some people are actually taking steps to be able to receive this themselves. In 2014, there was a case with a woman named Brittany Maynard. She was 24 years old, and she lived in California at the time, where it was actually illegal. Now it's legal by court ruling, but it was illegal completely in 2014. But she knew that she had a terminal brain tumor, and she knew that she wanted to be able to receive assisted suicide. So she actually took the steps to move to Oregon so she could receive assisted suicide. So do you guys think that added stress of moving is something that a terminally ill patient needs at this time?
Definitely
No.
not.
Mm-hmm.
They're terminally ill. They've got all these medications they take. They got hospital bills. That's already a lot of money. Then their family's probably emotionally stressed. They're probably emotionally stressed. And then when they finally oh, this is the one thing that could possibly take all my problems away. But then they're you can't do it here. So then what? Then you got to go find somewhere to live. Then you got to move yourself over there and make yourself a legal resident. And then they're after this whole process, it's just now you can finally do what you want to do, and it's unnecessary because they're already going through so much,
And the reason, to wrap this up, the reason why some people counter assisted suicide and don't want it legalized is because they have either religious reasons or they also don't want a string of suicide. A big reason is they don't want it to seem okay, especially if a physician, a respected person, is doing it. They don't want it to seem like just a way out for other people who are not terminally ill. So that's the counter.
I think that's almost unfair. It's not they're oh, I'm just going to kill myself.
Right.
No, that's the best possible option for them to have to them still be in control and then still go out on their own will.
Exactly.
without having to go through the pain of having their illness or moving if that's the only way they can get that. It's just, it doesn't make, I personally don't think it makes sense. Like, it's having this legalized in like all states is not going to say, okay, suicide is okay.
Right.
Like,
and it's still a
completely, it's a completely different like subject.
Exactly. Yeah.
With like terminally ill and then just people who are depressed or something. Yeah, it's a whole other discussion. So with that, we're going to transition to our most light topic of this podcast episode, which is going to be about the Disney parks with me, Lindsay. So I'll start off with asking you, what are your opinions on the Disney parks? Do you like them, not like them?
They're so much fun. I love them. Take me anytime. I will go.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
Anybody else?
It's fun, but like I haven't been since I was like a little kid, you know, 'cause it's like money.
So you don't really, yeah, it's expensive. Yeah, that's true. But, so personally, I love everything about them. Like, y'all can't tell, my entire wardrobe's Disney. I'm wearing a Disney shirt now. It's everything about me. But I want to argue that Disney is just such a successful company that it can be seen as almost like a model company. And I'll have the three subjects I want to bring up reasons is because the technology they implement, they have so many apps that make the experience so much easier for the guests. They like have apps that make them more fun, where you can do trivia and you can listen to music and do games like while you're waiting in line. And they also have apps that can essentially plan your whole vacation, and it just takes that added stress of like making sure you have the hotel, making sure you have your tickets off of like the guests, because it's all on their phone, so you're able to make sure everything is there and accounted for. Then also there's their customer service, which I think their customer service is like goes above and beyond. Y'all agree? I mean, it's when you think of like wholesome, like really super positive, nice employees, you kind of tend to think towards the Disney
And Chick-fil-A.
Oh, they're and Chick-fil-A. But in the amusement park range, company range, Disney has always had like a very big cornerstone is having their employees always make sure their guests are happy and they can help them whenever. And then just the experience they offer, like the rides they have, the shows, and like they have makeovers. They have something for literally every age. So they truly like want everybody from all walks of life, age, race, everywhere in the world to have like the best time. I want to ask you guys, so have you been? I know, April, you said you haven't been in a while, but was there anything that you really stood out to you that you really liked, or something that you said, oh, that's not really good about them? About being at the park?
I went to Disney, oh gosh, it had to be like 7 years ago now, so it was a while ago, but I really liked how when you were in like a certain part, like they have like Star Wars sections of the park, right?
Mm-hmm.
You really feel like you're kind of in that movie, and I think that's something that they do really well at Disney.
Yeah, something I really admire that Walt Disney, like himself, who is the creator of the company and the parks and whatever, is he wanted to create like a tangible experience that the movies that he created like didn't necessarily offer. So I have a quote from him that says, "I don't want the public to see the real world when the real world they live in while they're in the park. I want them to feel like they're in another world." So it's just, I really admire the effort they put forth in trying to make this true, you know?
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was saying that I saw the last time I was at Disney. You really feel like you're in that movie.
Disney, just a wholesome, overall, great brand. I love it. People, I think it's a really good company for others to like model theirs after. So yeah, it's great. All right. So that will conclude our episode for this podcast. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll let you know if we have any more episodes in the future. So see you guys later. Bye. Woo!